CXO Community.
Doritor for coming to Argentina. Doritor is the Vice President of Product of Checkpoint since 1995. Yeah, you have a lot of awards and in academic awards. You can explain that. You have PhD in
computer science.
Computer science. Yeah, and a lot. At Doritor, I saw you a lot of some congress about Checkpoint. You are the mother of the creator of a lot of products in Checkpoint. So thank you for this time. I have 5 questions about something that's very interesting, the CIO and CSO in Argentina. So the first question is, based on your experience of 7 years in Checkpoint, what are the main 3 factors that made Checkpoint a brand leader in security?
So first, thank you for the opportunity. I'm happy to be in Argentina. Thanks. And then I think the main 3 topics that made Checkpoint a leader in security is first, the love to the topic of security of the people that came to Checkpoint. So the people that join, they care about security. Security is an interesting topic to them. They select Checkpoint as a place to work because they care about the protection of the customers, the protection of the internet, and they think that security is a challenge they want to capture. I think that in many other companies, security is one of many topics in the company. In Checkpoint, it's a core topic. Everybody learns it, even if they touch some other topic in the company, they still need and learn the security topics. So this is one element. The second element that I think about is product orientation. One of the unique things about Checkpoint is it's a great school to how to develop products that are really implementable, to understand what customer need when they implement the product, and to make products that work. The technology itself is often sophisticated, but it comes in a form of a product that can be deployed and work in a real environment, and the realism of the environment, the realism of operating it in a business environment, making the flexibility needed for it to work is a critical element. I think that there are many technologies out there that miss the opportunity to become bigger because they were too complex to deploy and people did not bother to get them into their infrastructure as a result. The third element is innovation. To be a market leader in any space, you don't have anyone to follow. You need to innovate. You need to be the one that brings the idea into the table, and it must be innovative because you are the leader and you are first to market with it. And I think people at Checkpoint has the urge to innovate in the security space and to make it into a successful product.
Dorit, you say 3 things. We are thinking all the time in security. We think in the client needs and improve all the time. I presume that, but yes. I keep in mind that. The second question is, there are 2 new waves that modify all the strategy in security and modifying the strategy of the CIO to implement a strategy of IT in the company. One is the device that appear everywhere, from the society to the company, plus beyond all your device. And the second is the cloud computing. Maybe it's dark for some CIO because, I don't know, doesn't have to implement a solution. What is your opinion or your recommendation about these 2 trends?
So first, mobile goes well beyond just smartphones and tablets. Mobile is also a PC and a Mac and a USB device. There are many things that turn to be mobile. And the challenge with the new mobility thing is that if your data comes from the organization to the mobile, it then comes into the cloud, and actually controlling your data becomes your challenge. So if I want to focus on one thing that drives this is to secure mobility and data together across all the touch points. So implement the security level from its implementation inside the organization, through managing what data goes out and to where, through managing the data that is on mobile devices. Again, mobile devices are smartphone, tablets, but also PCs, Macs, USB devices, disks, and everything that's mobile. So you have to implement a security that follows the data path, that is implemented in each part of the data path. In each part, the requirements are different. You need to first understand the data, then you need to understand what are the access elements, who's asking for the data, from what device. Is it a managed device? Is it bring your own device? And with bring your own device, you want to probably segregate the business data from the consumer personal data. And so you have to implement a security that touches all these points with different elements of understanding in every point of the way.
Yes. It's easy for you to explain that, but for the CIO normally is appear every brand of device or whatever. But you are put in very important thing is protect the second. Protects the data in the original use, no? Mm-hmm. And use every device that bring the user. It's very important. Well, you talk about something about cloud. The question is about how you or Checkpoint could use the intelligence in the cloud, like every gateway or whatever that you know, to anticipate some attack from one part of the world to the other one, or some kind of attack or in a company industry to another one.
Very good question. In general, security attacks become more sophisticated. And if you look at the security space, the bad guys are collaborating between themselves. And to win against this, we need to have a holistic understanding of the security picture, us as well. Checkpoint has implemented Threat Cloud as a cloud infrastructure to support the security of all its gateways. All the gateways connect to the cloud and get their latest and greatest security elements from this cloud. But what's in this cloud is the intelligence that we built on the recent attacks and challenges. To this cloud, we bring our own research, our own laboratory, reverse engineering, malware data, understanding how a bot and advanced persisting threats behave. This is one element. The second element are sensors that we have spread around the world, from which we collect data and we analyze events and trends. And the third element are hundreds of thousands of gateways from Checkpoint that are spread around the world and take part in this holistic picture. And for example, we can make sure that when one of them identify a new signature for a bot, we can get this intelligence into our cloud and aggregate it as part of our research. So then we look at all the data we got from all these locations, we can understand exceptional behavior, and we can research them and implement security rules back into all the gateways that are spread around the world. So for us, Threat Cloud is the place where we really capture the security picture and what is the best security implementation on all our gateways around the world, and it's formed from collaboration between all the customers and the gateways that we have around.
Doris, I appear one question here that is, how could use this to the denial of services? Because there is some kind of attack from botnet or whatever that the companies say, I can't do anything. What is your opinion about protect that? No?
So denial of service is one form of threat that could get into our threat cloud, and we could create intelligence and bring it back to the customer. So if we identify one type of denial of service, we can protect against this denial of service in another place in the world immediately. It's the same when we talk about anti-bot, we focus on the bot maybe leaking data, but the bot can be sending denial of service, so it's the same type of things. We look at attacks as something holistic today. People attack in multiple ways, the boundaries between a bot, a virus, a denial of service, an intrusion prevention, leveraging vulnerability. The lines are blurred. Threat Cloud is the place where we hold all this intelligence and we understand that as an holistic thing, and then we help customer protect against specific attacks out of this holistic picture.
Thank you for your explanation. Well, I changed completely the question. Put you in the shoes of the CSO and CIO. Yeah, there are a lot of pressing about management, about the CEO, that's reducing costs, consolidation, simplify, whatever. What is your opinion about the the new role of CSO or CIO. Last year you proposed something like related to the 3D, that is the potential. How this can implement in the new era of the role of CIO or CSO?
So in thinking about security, we think about it as a 3D challenges. 3D stands for 3 dimensions: policy, people, and enforcement. So the first thing that the CIO needs to care about is what is his policy. By defining the policy, he defines what are the critical assets that they have, what is the risk that he's willing or not willing to take with this and other assets in the organization, and it drives the implementation of security then inside the organization. So having a very simple policy that is understood, and then going to second part, the second dimension, which is people, something that he could educate the people to understand. He needs tools that people will take live part of the security, because they are a live part of the challenge and they are a key to the implementation of the security inside the company. So policy, people, and the third dimension is enforcement. In order to implement your policy correctly, you have to have an holistic approach to enforcement, a consolidated approach. If you take point solutions, you are likely to have holes between them. So as you understood the critical assets and how the people are involved with these critical assets, you need to deploy enforcement around all these critical assets that will be holistic and consolidated, and will be able to implement one policy and to monitor in one place that you know that you are doing the right security for the company.
Talking about that, you say educate to the people. I think that a lot of people, a lot of management of IT try to educate all the time the people, and the people maybe don't have the responsibility because something say it's in the work, it's not part of my life or my personal life. So it's difficult to educate the people, especially in some cases in data loss prevention scheme, where all the people try to some personal pen drive, maybe infected or maybe not, and put in the PC or in the laptop and bring some risk to the company. So sometime another brands, anything, any name to say, but try to implement a new data loss prevention product, and it's very difficult because spend a lot of time that we can achieve some visible results to the management of the company. What is your opinion? What is your recommendation to implement data loss prevention products? No?
So one of the common mistakes I see is that people start implementing data leak prevention by taking a very infrastructural approach that is very far from result-oriented. So they may say, okay, let's first classify all the documents and all the activities and all the processes in the company. This is likely to fail because the time that passes in between you start this process without any results that are visible, you lose the people on the way, and the people are a critical part in making this work. An alternative approach that we believe in is the ability to start with a result-oriented approach, define your critical assets, create a policy that enforces strictly maybe activities around these specific critical assets, and take some gray area and helps you manage the gray area. People see the results of the critical assets, they see how you help them manage the gray area, and they become participants in the process. So they become players, the business owners of the data, see the value that it brings them and see the results together with the implementation. And they become, they take part of it. They enjoy the fact that you help them understand that something is not allowed and they can withdraw it, versus letting them make the illegal step and not understanding what they have done. So you can help them be compliant with the with the company policy, and you help them understand the policy as well as see how they prevent the data. And that makes them friends of the process, part of the process, and make a very easy implementation inside the company.
Dorit, thank you, because it's difficult maybe sometimes the interdisciplinary projects, but it's true that if you don't involve the business to this kind of project, it's impossible to implement. It really true. So Dori, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much to be in Argentina. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and good luck with securing the world.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.